be on that. So I may, if that becomes available. And that's the only thing.
Where are your shoes? Oh, bye. It's like, don't forget your shoes. Okay, all right. I think we're recording now. Okay, let's start again. Hi, happy Wellness Wednesday. Thanks for being here, Gina, and covering. I'm gonna get started with my meeting, so feel free to like get yourself settled and maybe take a look at the app and stuff, see who's signed in. The heat is on, and we're waiting on just Josiah, I believe. Yeah. So we'll get started, and we're recording. So if Sierra can't catch all of it, she'll catch the recording. So thanks for making time for us. You know, this last week, the first Wednesday just kind of crept up on me. So thanks for letting me reschedule it to the second Wednesday. You know, like I was starting to say, there's like two main groups of like concepts that I want to talk today about. And one, they're both very important and they're both connected. And, you know, one of them, I'll start with the one that's like a little not as fun, not as joyous, so to speak, although I think it is because it's yoga and I love yoga. But really talking about the standards that we hold here, the standards that real yoga. No offense to anybody, but not goat yoga, not wine yoga, not gym yoga. Like the studio like us that is 100% dedicated to yoga. And the fact that it's half art, half science, that it's a living, breathing, traditional art form. It comes from very far away. And that there is a science to it, that there are results, that it has to have an effect. That there is a difference between talking and teaching. And as we have new teachers joining, we have teachers in the mix of 5 years, 6 years, 10 years, etc. Even myself, you know, I just want to make sure that we don't lose sight of those things. You know, I have this photo of Paramahansa Yogananda up for a reason. One of my spiritual teachers was like, hey, Jax, you need to have him up there, like, so that people don't just think you're some kind of little yoga girl. Like, you come from a lineage, you've studied, you've been to India twice, you've really lived and breathed this stuff every day, all day. And the average yogi walking on the street, no offense to him or her, but they're not necessarily comparable. It's not necessarily comparable. So I put them up there to remind me, and now I'm kind of sharing that with you, that 26 and 2 lineage that we primarily teach, not entirely, but that we primarily teach, comes from a lineage, comes from a family, comes from a family in Calcutta that lives today. And that, you know, he wrote a book that I highly recommend. If you've never read this book, I recommend that you read it. There's also a film for it. The film doesn't do it. The book is just as much justice, which is typically the case. So I recommend both, but I highly recommend the book because in that book, you'll hear his story. And by the way, people like Steve Jobs and people like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, like, this is their favorite book. Like, it's Steve Jobs' funeral. They gave this book out to everybody in attendance. So icons, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, icon, Steve Jobs, icon. This is their favorite book. And they're not too many people that way. Let's see. In that book and in his film, we learn the extraordinary story that he has. The challenges he went, the studying, his teachers, his gurus, how challenging they were for him. They really like molded this incredible teacher who became world renowned. You know, he's more famous outside of India than he is in India, technically. You know, he's one of the few non-Americans that were on a US stamp. You know, like very, very influential person who is credited to being one of the first to bring yoga to this country. So I say all that because I'm in your classes, I teach myself, as you guys know. I just came from teaching 200 instructor teachers from Landry High School. And when I think about, I just received a couple of emails last few weeks about people, new members saying, hey Ajax, I noticed I went to this festival, I can dance better. Hey Ajax, I'm dealing with a divorce and I'm dealing with it better. Like we're not gonna have to have lawyers anymore. We're gonna have a mediator, like because like it's I'm using my yoga, So results like that, feedback like that is important. It's necessary. It gives us, it's like paying the rent, basically.
Hello.
Come on
Hi,
in.
guys. All right.
And so, there's a little bit of me, and I'll just be honest because I'm human and I try to be honest with you guys as much as I can, but there is a part of me that feels like sometimes you guys don't believe me. That I ask you to do stuff, I recommend things, I try to be patient, I try to send podcasts, I try to lift your spirits up, I try my best in a lot of different ways. And I just feel like sometimes, well, maybe they just don't believe me. Maybe they just, and there's some things in life, and I know this is someone who has lived a lot of life, that there are some things in life that you do have to learn from experience. That someone can keep telling you and keep telling you, and you're just never going to learn. However, because what we do here, what I do here in particular, is so multifaceted, it can be taxing. I mean, I just interviewed for a fellowship, I think it was yesterday, and these 3 full-blown adults who are in health equity were like, do you have a clone? Like, how are you? I'm looking at your application, I'm looking at your resume, I'm looking at your bio. Like, how are you? Like, how are you doing this? And like, not for a second did I even give that thought, because I'm thinking, well, how am I doing this? Well, I know how I'm doing this. It's this stuff. Just like you'll learn in that book if you ever read it, how he did what he did. It's also through yoga. So there's this idea that yoga is a self-realization discipline. It helps you fully realize who you really are. Your purpose, your love, your contributions, whether it's a dancer, a partner, a breathing teacher, a former pharmacist, a this, that, all of the titles and dreams and desires that you have, like yoga is that friend, it is that art form, it is that discipline, it's gonna help you make it happen. But you have to engage with it. So that does mean practice. That does mean giving each other feedback and taking. That means sitting down with me as I do with you all. Come on in. As I do with you all, if you are not sure, if you don't believe me, if you have issues with what I'm sharing, like, tell me. Tell me, let me know so that we're making the most out of our time together. Hey, you come on in.
I'm fine, I'm listening. I'm trying to get my phone for next. I don't know where, whatever.
But I need you guys to, I need you guys to start trusting me a little bit. Trusting me. I need you guys to question if you have legitimate questions of why I'm asking you to stand in one part of the room over another, or why I don't want you to talk about the heat or talking about the heat, like whatever it is that I'm asking you to do and you don't understand, ask me, because there are reasons, and I try my best to give you context and give you reasons, but yeah, I'm not, I want you to know that people need to get better when they come, I'm not sure when was the last time any of you guys sold a membership. Look, an intro, thank you, but like, that's an easy sale, it's a combination of a standard, knowing why you're here, a difference between talking and teaching, like the claims that yoga makes, the science, the research behind changing blood pressure, transforming people's lives, preventing disease. Like, how do you think those things happen? They don't just happen because you want it. People have to engage with the respiratory system, they have to engage with the musculatory system, they have to reduce those stress levels. Like, it is work, And so I just want you all to keep that in mind. Most of the time you guys are doing this, but there have been some times where this is fluctuating and I don't want our standards to drop. You know, it's like, think of any establishment that you love, any restaurant that you love, and you know when you go there every single time, the baked potato is off the hook, the ribs are off the hook, the chickens are like, they never drop their standard. It might be a different server, might be a different time of the day, it might even be a different location, a different chain, but the standard is the same. And that's what I want with us here. You know, you guys are a fantastic team. There's no doubt. All I'm saying is like, we need to tweak, we need to improve, we need to adjust, we need to go in. You know, it hurts me a little bit because I feel like there's a few of you, and I'm not going to name any names, but there's a few of you that I feel like you want to be in wellness more full time. You want it to pay the bills. You want to have a card. You want to have that call. You want to be included and involved. And I want that for you, but I can't want it more than you do. And when I think back to how I got here, I'm not the perfect role model, but I do think I am a model to look at. And, you know, this yoga studio was built out of my good karma. I didn't have all the money for this place, but I had years and years of dedication, years and years of experience, years and years of happy clients with effective results. And because of that, I like to think the universe said, okay, we're ready, you know? And so I just like, those of you that want more, let's go after it. But that means you're practicing. That means you're listening to some of those podcasts, you're reading some of those books, you're in here fully focused on why you're here. You do have to kind of suspend your life. Not that your life doesn't matter, your life matters very much. But when you come in here, you have to shift your focus from you and what you may have came from, which might not have been the best situation, and I empathize with you. But it is a way to cope with that when you shift your struggles, your challenges of the day, of the year, of the month, whatever, to the side, and you focus on other people. You know, there's something really beautiful that does happen within you and within them. Give me 1 second. So, standards, effective classes, yoga's half science, half art. You are healing artists. That's what I consider you guys. And so think of an artist, like think of how much you practice, rehearsals, things, your fingers, your toes, like all the things that you do, Giselle. I'm using you as an example because you're a performer, but like you guys are the same. You guys are also artists. And I would start calling yourself that. When people ask you what you do, you say, I'm a healing artist, you know, and you can get specific and say yoga or meditation or breathwork or whatever, but you are a healing artist. So like think of your favorite artists, how much time they put into that art to become who they are. And that's kind of what I'm saying to you guys, you know. You may never own a yoga studio. That might not be in your cards. That might not be in your heart. That might not be your desire. That's fine. But when you're here, you're kind of like the owner. You own the ship. You own the hour. You own the time here. You gotta lock that door. You gotta make sure everybody's checked in. And so I want you to own it. You know, my mentor, which is where Ciara and I first met, she used to say that to me all the time. It's your ship. Run it like it's yours. And I did. And I became indispensable to that owner and to that community. And I'm still very close to that whole community to this day. And many other communities, because I gave them my best, just like you see me do that here. So it comes second nature for me here because I did it for so many other people. And I just want to offer you that opportunity here. I want to offer you those who want that. You know, I want to give many of you raises, but I think more memberships. And so they go hand in hand. If the classes are very effective, then the memberships become effective, right? And then your needs of having more income, having more responsibility, having more wellness in your life also goes up. There's a direct correlation. And I am not trying to hold you back at all. I am your #1 fan, like #1. And so it's like, again, I can only do so much. I need you guys to do your part. I'm not saying you're not, but there are little tweaks that need to happen. And I would like to see that happen, guys. I'd like to see it happen. Like it's been a big challenge over the last 4 years, as you've heard me say, to keep this baby alive. And that is no understatement. There's no understatement. I don't share everything that, that I go through to keep these doors open, but it's a lot. It's a lot, many family members, many dear friends back home and here, just kind of like doing their best to keep me lifted so that I can carry all this. But I need a little more from you guys. I need you guys to trust me. I need you guys to believe that, like, I built this from scratch, you guys, one person at a time. And I do know how to teach it well. I do know how to communicate. I'm not perfect at it, but I am one of the best. But I'm not here alone. I'm here with you guys. And so I need you guys to fill in the gaps that I can't do. So small thing. If that trash is overwhelmed, please take a minute and drop it out. So, it doesn't get easier. There's a couple specifics that I'll go over in a minute with you guys, but in a nutshell, just that's my ask for you guys. Let's remember where this stuff comes from. Let's remember how powerful this is. And I don't know, I don't want to assume that any of you have had a powerful transformative moment with yoga. I don't know that. I don't want to assume it because not everybody has, because not everybody teaches it well. Not everybody's dedicated to it. So therefore they've never really had it. So it just seems like it's a fun little thing that you can do. No, this is a transformative discipline. And the more I study it and the more others study it, the more evidence comes up. Yoga, number one way to heal trauma. Number one, not top 10, number one. We're in a city that unfortunately has huge levels of trauma. So us being on this corner is pivotal to solving something that's really hard to solve, that's historic, that's been here for generations, And so if you have had a transformative experience, if you know of someone who's had a transformative experience with yoga, I want you to keep that in mind. I want you to know that we can replicate those results. I took an Uber. I was in West Bank all day today, and I was taking an Uber back. And I'm very like all of us, like we're intuitive. And something told me just to ask this guy. He asked me if he could call his mother while I was in the car. I said sure. So he called his mother, and I don't know, just out of curiosity, I guess. We're on the phone. We're in the car together. I asked him like, "How's your mother's health? Is your mother pretty healthy?" And he was like, well, it turns out that both of them have high blood pressure, not just his mother, but he did too. And so I bring that up because chances are the most random people that you're interacting with have health concerns, have health issues. And as you know, like blood pressure is a silent killer. Like you might not know you have high blood pressure, and then you don't wake up the next day or you drop dead the next day. This is how it happens, So, and what is one of the other number one things that naturally helps blood pressure? Yoga. High blood pressure or low blood pressure. Speaking of which, we have two people. One's here right now, and another one I just was talking to at Manhattan High School. We have two people who one has a heart condition that the yoga is helping with her stress and anxiety, and doctor's aware that she's coming, but she made it a point to let me know that like she may need to take breaks and stuff. So just know that like that's why part of the protocol has always been that, especially if you've never taught the person, you've seen them, but maybe you've never taught them. It's a nice protocol to just say, hey, is there anything going on? Anything I should know about? So that if they do sit down or they do ask you to leave the room, something's happening that isn't typical, you're aware. Nothing might happen, but it might. So we have a person who wants to come back. She's a teacher at Landry, very sweet young woman who has low blood pressure. And so whether it's high or it's low, yoga is going to help balance it out. However, people with low blood pressure, as some of you may know, if they get up too fast, they can faint, they can pass out. So with people like that who may have low blood pressure, it's the same standard. Do what you can. Sit down when you need to. You know, listen to your body, right? Usually the floor is going to be a lot easier for them. And you know, you monitor what you're saying so that the person who is really dealing with serious health conditions doesn't feel isolated or even like hamstrung or even like what's the word I'm looking for, like singled out. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah. So just I'm glad I remembered that because it was something I really wanted to make sure that I shared with you all. Okay. So any comments, any sharings that you guys, thank you for letting me share. You know, I know I'm sharing from a place of like a little bit of hard, you know, it's a little hard for me to share all this, and my tone and everything is, you know, I'm a little, it's difficult. This is not the easiest conversation for me. But I do find it, hey, well, I do find it important. Thank you for letting me, you know, share authentically, you know, with my team. I feel like I don't have to sugarcoat things with you guys. I feel like you guys know who I am, and you know, like anybody else, I have ups and downs and frustrations, and you know, I just I don't expect anybody to work as hard as I am. This isn't your business, but I do see some missed opportunities, and it bugs me. It bugs me because I'm trying to give you guys opportunities, but I'm not going to hand them on plate. You have to work for it, just like I did, just like the world demands of you. I'm not changing any rules. These are the rules of the world, you know. And those of us who live long enough know that that's the way it goes. And life right now is getting more difficult. When I was 31, starting yoga, life wasn't as challenging as it is right now. It's not as competitive as it is right now, not as cynical. But so I apologize that life isn't as grand as it could be, but there's still plenty of opportunities, especially when I'm in your corner. Especially when I'm in your corner. And I'm in your corner. I'm in your corner. So take advantage of that, because I can probably guarantee that there are very few people in this city in particular that are gonna just open their doors, their heart, their, you know, their ears to you like this. You know, I do want to back it up. I do want the best for you, but it's gotta be like we gotta do it together. So when I ask you to research something or I ask you to show up for something, if you say yes, I need you to follow through with it. You know, I don't have time to follow up. I don't have time to wonder what's going on. You know, I do my best to model for you guys like responsive communication. If I mess up, I apologize. I try my best to honor you guys, like on just community, etc. So it's like I need that to be reciprocated, you know. And we all have ups and downs. So I'm cognizant of that and I respect that. But generally speaking, I really want us to kind of just turn the dial up a little bit, which kind of leads me to the funner conversation, which is celebrating our 8-year anniversary. This turn up I'm asking for is really important for the celebration that we're about to have. The celebration, as far as I'm concerned, is going to highlight us and bring even more people here, bring the spotlight. And like, it's a wave. Like what I've noticed in New Orleans is like, you do this one thing and then there's a ripple effect that takes a little while for it to actually like fully manifest. Okay. So the goal with one of the goals with this upcoming event is that we kill it, we do an incredible job, which I have no doubt that we will, and that the next day, immediately, we start to see the effects, you know. And you only get one chance to make a first impression. You've heard that before. Yoga is a hard friend to make. Like people don't like making friends with yoga. So like you're the ambassador to that process. Like we know it's a good friend, a loyal friend, an honest friend, But not everybody wants to have that kind of friend, even though they may need that kind of friend. So you're like that middle person that's helping facilitate that connection for them. So before I get to the event, just know that like this, we're having this conversation in part because I'm also trying to prepare us for who we have now, but who we will have, you know, soon, very, very soon after. So I'll stop there and just let you all kind of sit with some of what I've shared. Feel free to, you know, keep open forum, feel free to share, you know, anything that's coming up for you.
Well, I'll start. I don't know, I do have a lot coming up for me. I know there's a lot of us in here, but, and maybe it's just that I need to hear it, but I do feel like it's direct or directed toward me.
No.
And I know it's not, but I do, it makes that just in myself,
Yeah.
because I haven't been practicing, right? But in terms of my class, like breathing meditation, I do breathing meditation twice every day. Like I've been doing that for 3 years, except when I had surgery to breathe. So yeah, that's that. So that for me is, I guess, the postures for you guys coming in here, breathing meditation is that. It's like that's my life. So that, yeah, I unfortunately I haven't. I really want to be in here. I do, and like I said, maybe I'm scared. I think that does have some of it because of what happened last year. I was moving too fast, so I think that's been a little bit of fear has been holding me back in terms of that. And it's been difficult for me to get up, so I have to really work on that. But I mean, I'm in a very spiritual journey. I'm coincides with yoga. I can't say that I'm fully, I mean, I am totally accepted in the people. Everything that comes with. So I definitely was totally invested in that concept of health and trying to decrease suffering and increase consciousness. And that is, I know my life's work. However, I am still fluctuating back and forth, right? Like I still have that that identity part of me that's working past the self-sabotage, working past those things. And I like I said, I'm fluctuating back and forth. So I'm growing in that aspect. But I am fast forward because I do need to create a stable financial life myself. Keep that in mind. So I don't know. I just want to feel like I know it says breathing and meditation, but I want to feel like that's valued just as much.
Absolutely. I mean, I don't see a big difference. I know you may see a difference, but there isn't. One's a moving meditation and the other one's a seated meditation, but they're both meditations. And that's kind of why I'm saying, like, go read this book. There's some disconnects here. There's some missing pieces. It's okay. It's okay. Yoga is a huge subject. I don't know all of it either. But there is no difference. And no, I'm not directing any of these comments directly to you at all. Thank you for being honest, as you always are, you know, and thank you for the classes. The classes I've had good feedback, you know. I don't always reveal everything that gets shared with me, you know, but I do reveal some things, and the feedback that I've got from your classes has been very good, very good. And however, when people see you here, when they see you on that map, when they see you challenge, you know, they're curious. They want to know more. It's an opportunity, you know, if you want to lessen pain and suffering and heighten consciousness, me asking you guys to come to class is part of that process. And I'm confident, Bethany, that you will make those connections and you will follow those connections, you know, and like, thank you for letting me have a candid conversation about it. And thank you for sharing, you know, it is a process, you know, and we're all like in different parts of our journey. But as the lead here, like, yes, I'm like, come on, guys, Let's, because part of the issue is, and I respect the fear, but time does not wait for anybody. And a lot of times people are dragging their feet for things, not necessarily you guys, but just people in general, because they think they have time. And that is not true. And so when you get feedback, when you get opportunities, in my book, I would like for you guys to jump on, because you just don't know. And I've taught enough around the world that when I pack my stuff and leave, people are crying. People are not, oh my God, I can't believe I should have came. No, shoulda, coulda, no regrets in life. No regrets in life. I personally have very few regrets in life, maybe one. So, like, again, this is why I said, like, I don't know that you guys believe me sometimes. And that's your process and that's your journey, but know that I'm speaking from experience. From a place of like, I want the best for you in our community. And there is a process to it. Like yoga does have steps to it, healing has steps to it, building a business has steps, building rapport and trust has steps. Part of it is doing things like this and having personal hard conversations. Like that's a step. We can't skip that step. That's why we're not talking about the party yet, because we can't skip this step. This is a hard step, I understand, but it's an important one, so no, highly value what you're doing. It's becoming everything I think we both, it could be. And you're just starting, like you haven't really even been here more than a month, right? Yeah.
But and I just want to say that I had a couple people ask me like in the New Orleans community for a meditation breathwork class, and I couldn't get the class. So people are out there.
It's kind of
Like they want that. Saying I want a meditation breathwork class. So anyways, just saying that that's value to the community.
Absolutely. It's a gateway in,
Yeah, it's a gateway.
Yeah.
But I did want to say that I do, with me when we did the teacher training, and I did reside, I think it was really like 17 chapters, so we didn't get all into that. But I didn't realize that was, but a lot of my overcoming my fears is because you're vulnerability. You share the just now is realization that yes, people that are successful are not, they're not like these impervious people that don't have this, they just learn how to work. And so I appreciate that. Like, vulnerability just had this important for you to be authentic so that we can be authentic.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Anybody else on the show?
Oh, you want to relax. Like, which one do I do? The biggest thing that stuck out to me, or stood out to me, was memberships. That has been very challenging. And I don't know what's the difference between today and 2019. I'm just like, for me, it was easy to get to yoga because I care about my health. I care about my body, and it's something that, I want to be able to sustain long term. So it's like, I've taken everybody's class. We're teaching the yoga. So like we're teaching the classes go, how can we translate this message to the people and say, care about yourself? We're doing great things here. Like I really find that challenging myself between trying to squeeze little nuggets in between, which I think you and Caitlin be really good at. Squeezing little nuggets in between dialogue. But it's just like, I don't know. For me, it's second nature. I care about my health. I care about what I eat. I care about what I put in my body. So yoga for me is easy and I love it. And I love how it makes me feel. And I try to share that to a certain degree, but just like, in sales, I am pretty good at sales. I've been #1 top salesman in several companies. So it's like,
If you're struggling with it, then
maybe I'm doing something wrong. I don't know. So I just,
That's fair. I appreciate that.
no, I guess, not to say that you have to answer it all right now today, but I don't know. I guess I can say that's an area of improvement even for myself as someone who has self-factor out. Because I don't.
Yeah, I think something that, you and I talked about there might be an angle, are these TikToks?
Yeah.
You know, I think that that's an angle that we haven't tried, that you seem to have some interest in. And that might be an avenue to dump all your passion and sales experience and all that into that, you know? Because I don't disagree with you, I don't disagree, and but a lot has changed.
Well, yes.
It doesn't actually.
Yeah.
And so people, like, because we had so many changes in our lives, people became insecure about making any decision,
Fair enough.
you know, including a membership, you know, and whether it's fear, whether it's I can't get out of bed, like there's a long list, you know, and I think that like one of the things that I put on here on the agenda that I'll just share now is like, be proud to say what you just said, because people are bombarded by McDonald's, by this, by that, by drugs, by, you know, and so like, don't for 1 second ever feel bad for telling someone over and over again to take care of themselves, because the rest of the world is trying to break them down.
Yeah.
So keep that in mind. You know, it's part of the reason why you see me on Instagram as much as you see me, because I'm like, yeah, I know I'm on your lap, but I know why I'm on here. Do you know why you're on here? And so like, just know that you have my permission, you have my encouragement, you have my backing to say those things, because what people are saying to themselves, what their bosses are saying to them, what the traffic's saying to them, what the news is saying to them, it's all very negative, pessimistic, limited, untrue, exaggerated, etc., misleading, etc. So, you know, thank you for caring so much, Amber. Thank you for being a model. You know, like we're a little bit at a crossroads. It's okay. We'll figure out which direction to go, you know, and, you know, like, I want you to follow up with me on these TikToks so that we can start exploring that avenue, because I think it's creative. And like, if it's something that you want to go into more, I know a host of entrepreneurs who, if you do well for me, do well for us, which I have no doubt that you would, and you want more clients, you want more opportunities, I can recommend you. Again, like, I'm in your corner, you know, but I want to see you guys like rise to the occasion to do it. So that you get the most out of me being in your corner. Part of me is like, have they even gotten anything from me being in their corner? I don't know. Again, thinking about being effective, are there results?
Oh, I think say I've gotten something, but can I say
Yeah.
I've taken full advantage? No, I haven't. I think the part of me has been a little bit like, I'm coming to teach my son. I'm gonna go, and you know, maybe a part of me has been like, I don't want to say have a wallet, because I did have a time where I left and I came back, and you know, I come back and I talk back and I connected with students and all that, but maybe a part of me is trying to protect myself from some, like, I don't know, so. That's just me being honest. So,
Yeah, I appreciate that. I mean, honesty is important to get to what we can do about it. What can we do about it? You know, but we gotta hear it, you know, and this is a safe space to share. And if you don't really have anything yet right now, or you don't feel comfortable right now, we can share at a different time. But like, I want to hear it. I want to know. What I've shared isn't directed to one specific person. You know, I meant to say that, but now I get to say it because you mentioned that. It's okay. It's important to clarify, you know, it's little things. And so the best thing I can do is just bring it up to everybody so that we can just have a conversation about it. Anybody else? Yeah,
May I speak freely, Wellby?
yes.
Okay.
You can be done with it.
Piggybacking off of what Emma said, we have excellent teachers. I don't think that's the issue. I do feel I'm comparing from when I first came.
Yeah.
My very first day here, the line was so long, I wasn't sure if I was gonna be able to get it.
Yeah.
You know, and I just comparing the energy from then and now, I feel like the energy is flat.
Mhm.
When I first started, I've gotten plenty of people to join also.
Mhm.
But now I'm like wondering if this person ever joined, if not, people,
Yeah.
publicity, marketing was bigger. You had us in the airport, on the news, festivals, all these things were being exposed. Also the intimacy of other teams isn't as strong as it was before. Taking trips were another thing too. That blew people together.
Trips?
Yeah, well, you would go, even if everyone didn't go, it would be
I
like,
see, I see.
I feel like those, and just celebrating randomly without, I mean, this is a meeting. I mean, back then we would sit and we would eat together, share our thoughts and goals together. And I believe a lot of that due to us becoming what you are expecting us to come as teachers and being the influencers that you're looking for. Like I said, I think everyone's excellent at teaching. But the influence and the energy behind it, I feel like it's
I guess you could say we was kind of friends back then.
yeah, it was,
Whereas everybody we are adults and we have our careers in our life, but we're not really close.
Like you said, intimacy and exposure.
Yeah.
So, but I do have a reflection too. Today I'm a woman of minimum words today. You know, some days I have a lot on my mind and not a lot to say. That's where I'm at today. But I will say there's been a lot of duality energy in the air. There's a lot of times where I feel extremely connected and I'm tuned in and I'm tuned and I'm all this, but then there's times where I'm disconnected. And I also feel like it's because I'm overwhelmed. As one young woman that is, you know, trying to make ends meet, trying to also to embody as a yoga instructor and as a person that is totally driven by wellness. Everything that I do is driven by my health and wellness. Everything is for the purpose of that. You know, I can talk all day about health issues that come from my family and why did I choose wellness and why wellness is so important. And it's one of the things that also too helped me to see me outside of myself. It's one of the things that helped me to see me fully, right? But it's just this very weird energy right now that I can't really put my finger on, because even I'm living in the midst of it. There are a lot of times where I am, you know, here, I'm present, but then also too, I'm not really here. You know what I mean? Like I came to class earlier and I was just like, if it's there, right? Today is one of those days where a lot's on my mind and I don't really have much to say, right? So, you know, it's just one of those, it's a weird time with weird energy, because I give my all to, you know, these yoga classes, even on the days where I'm not feeling it. I still have to show up and perform because you're trusting me to guide you through. And at the end of the day, your safety, your wellness, your well-being is in my hands. So regardless of what, you know, I come with or what's in my hand.
Hi.
I thought I was there. I wasn't.
They just started already. Did you sign up online?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, make sure you take your shoes off, please.
So, you know, it's one of those things where like, you know, I just feel it's a lot of, it's just a lot of like, I don't know, give and receive energy. It's a lot of, it feels like a tug of war, you know, for lack of better words. So I don't really know what to say, because I feel like in this class, I wholeheartedly like give what I would want to receive, you know. You know what I mean?
Putting up.
Like I give what I would want to receive, and I understand that we're human, we have our own shit. But like when I hit that door, like I leave everything that's inside of me, around me, whatever, I leave that there, right? And so, you know, I think by going into the studio and giving what I would want to receive, that like just naturally, organically, like people used to it. And it's like, I know all the great things we have going on. And I even immerse myself in the great things that we have going on so that I can focus speak to it, right? But it's like also too, at the end of the day, like I don't know, I still have this part where I feel like I don't know, am I doing everything I'm supposed to be doing? I'm maximizing my time, am I, you know, but I know that I'm all over the place, but in one place at once.
No, do you have a mat?
Yes, that's one sure. Do you have water? Yes. Okay. So, you know, it's just, you know, one of those things where it's weird energy, like where, you know, you are here, but
you're not here. And it's the same with like, the people with these memberships, right? Or with even getting them to commit, like commitment is one of the hardest things because of this duality energy that's going on. People are, it's like you can sell them a good story, you give them all the praise, you give them all the benefits, the reason, the good things, and all of these, flowers and things. But then it's like to get a person to actually commit, it's like, I don't know what's the barrier in between, like, doing it and committing to it, because people will do it, but they won't commit to it. And that's with anything. That's with like a membership, that's with a relationship, that's with a job, that's with, that's with anything. And so, and I also too feel myself have a similar energy, just not with yoga, someone place where like I'm being totally fully immersed, right? But I just wanted to bring that to the forefront because listening to everybody's reflections, listening to what you said, Ajax, just listening to where I am too. And I'm in a very sober and very clean place at work. And when I say sober, I don't mean like I drink and I smoke all the time, right? But I'm saying that I'm very awake and very because I've been practicing consistently. I've been practicing 3 times a week, every week. I've been, because my thing was too, I can't get up or I can't do, or I don't have time. Like when you stop making excuses and you start doing, like you start making growth, the universe starts to create space. So I fully believe that when you do like immerse yourself in doing things, there is space that is created if it's meant for you to do it. Right. So that you just gotta tell yourself a different story, but also too, like how to be. And it's like how much more too of authenticity am I going to give? I give personal reflections in class. I talk about personal things, which sometimes I don't like to do, but at the same time, I know that it's something that'll make them feel connected to me. It'll make people understand me. It'll make, people want to be here because there's this real authenticity that exists here. Yes, it's the yoga, but it's also too like we are real people with real feelings and real experiences that we're all sharing similar things, right? I digress. I just wanted to.
Yeah, that's good. What came up for me. I want to hear what Giselle and JJ have to say. Let me just interject quickly that what came up for me, based on what Giselle shared, is I think, creating some more opportunities for us to be able to bond, I don't think we've been terrible at it. I think we have done decent at it. Could it get better? Yeah, definitely. But I think we've made attempts to make sure we're celebrating birthdays and make sure that we're taking each other's classes, that we are good to each other, covering for each other, communicating with each other. I again, a lot has changed since 2018 or 19, so I've tried to be as patient and as flexible with the changes that you all have that life presents us. But yes, do I want to make sure that we all feel camaraderie and rapport and love for each other? Absolutely. And whatever I can do, I love bringing people together, if you haven't noticed. And so I love being able to do that. And I'm happy that you said that. And I don't disagree with you. I do think that we've had our moments this year and last year of coming together in good ways, but we can do more for sure. And I think for memberships, I think that maybe finding our next time that we come together is to just focus on that as a team and really kind of come up with like step 1, step 2, step 3. Or if they say this, we say that, right? And kind of it's kind of like what we say, the only goal is stay in the room. Right? Like we all are, for the most part, saying that, right? And so I think with memberships, we may need to approach it in that same way, where we all have the same language, we all have the same response, because, I don't want you guys racking your hearts and your brains and feeling, defeated because you're trying, the commitments are lacking. And I'd rather us try to bring our brains together and kind of think about a strategy that we stick with for X amount of time and see how that goes. Yeah.
Not to interrupt, but another thing, I don't know if this started implemented or not, but I think another thing that could really help us is either email or text follow up, like, hey, we seen you took our quick entry.
Yeah.
You can join our community for such and such a month, like, yeah, like we need somebody saying.
We have that, we do have that going.
Is that automatic? What?
Some of it is automatic and some of it is me intentionally going in once a month and looking at like, who has an expired situation? And then those people get an email from me and a text.
It's like, we see you're approaching your 2 weeks.
Uh-huh.
That's what I say too, that's how I utilize it, so like if say the intro's in there, I'm like, hey, just give me a heads up, their intro's in 2 days, you know, no pressure though, I have a code for if you are like, believe me, ready to join, but no, they can't do an intro again. I just kind of like give them the good first and then kind of give that second thing, you know, so.
Also, I think we got away from the sharing the time on social media when we actually teaching. You know, they're kind of got away. If just us as teachers, you know, sharing it ourselves. I'm guilty of not sharing it enough.
I definitely don't be here.
And that's, I try to make it easy for you guys that tag you,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
that help you
Yeah,
out
so
that
just
way.
bringing it up. I remember what Alyssa used to call all her people. If someone didn't show up, she would call them or text them,
Uh-huh.
you know.
Yeah.
So
That personal touch, you know, because like, and that's part of the language thing too, something that I really believe in that I'm still working on, right? It's like, and we kind of talked about this the other day about with Dr. Gale, it's like, you have to know your audience, you have to know your customer. It takes a little time, but you are an empathetic, alive person, you can figure it out. Like, some people need to be pushed, and some people you have to back off. Some people, if you say no pressure, they respect that and it has a opposite effect and they're on it. Some people, you say that, they take you on the word, no pressure, great, no pressure, people ain't anything on. So you have to like, you know, and it's an art, you know, and some days you might not get it right. But just be conscious of that. Be conscious of like, I mean, my mentor used to tell me the best marketing is your class. If you teach a bomb ass class, you ain't gotta do a whole lot of marketing afterwards. And that's why you hear me say, like, yes, you guys are doing great. There's little tweaks that need to happen so that we're not missing the marks anywhere, so that there's no excuses for this non-committed energy, because life is committed to life and for you. Are you committed to meeting that match? You know, and so I think that we just have to sometimes be real with people about like what it is out there. You know, like it's a nice, warm, cozy place in here with people who care, but
It's that cold ice cold.
it's not really like that everywhere. I mean, we want it to be like that. I'm not gonna say it's not like that everywhere, but it's not enough. So what are you doing to protect yourself? What are you doing? You know, one of the things I've been talking about a lot is like 85% of chronic diseases are preventable. This is helping you prevent it. You can almost eat everything you want. You can almost drink anything you want. You almost smoke anything you want. If you do this, if you exercise, you can get away with a lot. And the problem is people are not exercising, so they're not getting away with shit. So like little things like that, you know, I want to be creative because I mean, like if we were to record this conversation, we're not, but let's say if we were, this is a great conversation. If we took snippets of this conversation and posted it, I know it would resonate with people. And I know they would hear themselves in that conversation, be like, they're talking about me. You know, so like TikTok, you guys reposting some of the things I tag you on that, you know, that you feel comfortable about, that is literally maybe about you. Things like that, I think can help, will help. I've been also teaching a little bit differently. I've been trying to be creative with my teaching. There's a couple things that I have on my sleeve coming up that I'm gonna try, you know, because, you know, I've been teaching this thing for a long time, you know what I mean? So part of me wants to do it to make sure that I feel enthused and I feel excited to be there, because if I don't, it's very difficult to teach, you know, and get people motivated. But let me stop and allow the two of you, if you have any reflections. That's a great word, Kaylin.
Thank you.
I appreciate everything said. Hey guys, initially I'm still like reflecting on all of it, but I hate that you feel this way. I'm obviously so new to this. Many of you have been here for so long. Both of us, I'm sure, it's just like so much learning every time we meet. which I appreciate being able to be here in these meetings to like get all this knowledge and be reminded to like really do the work and the no excuses thing, all these things. But man, I am in the full-time job transition, trying to transition, like you're saying too, calling us into like, this is the path, this is the journey, I like wellness as a career. But why is it so hard to do both? And you spoke a little bit about that too. Just like being two places. And so, yeah, I just appreciate being here and I'm trying. But yeah, there's more energy. Then you spoke on it too. I'm thinking about what you said, just like it's so hard at this time. I know each of us do very different things. Some of us work full time, some of us do many things to make ends meet. Like it's a lot right now. It's a lot to have a business. I truly cannot imagine.
Yeah.
Like, well, and you do all these other things, like you wrote a recommendation letter for me that I think just got me a new position, one of the main reasons I got it, you know? Really, and I'm so thankful for that. Like you do so many, you wear so many hats other than business owner, but that I know is heavy. So yeah, I'm just thinking a lot. Now I feel like I'm so much rambling, but yeah, it's I know we're all trying, but it's hard. It's really hard to be.
And maybe we just need to say that, you know, maybe we just need to say that, maybe we all are saying it in our own ways and having reflections and, you know, considerations, and it's a good thing, you know. I often say that in class where I see people struggling, I'm like, you know, just admit it, today's hard, today's hot, you know, today's class is difficult. And the minute you kind of like just acknowledge it, all of a sudden you don't have to deal with that energy anymore. You might still be challenged, but you're not dealing with this like, what's going on? What's going on is that this is hard. That's what's going on. You know, now we can get to the next chapter, so to speak.
Yeah, thank you for sharing. Always so honest and beautiful words from everybody. So I don't have much to say other than I'm just kind of listening. Sort of information, respecting our space, too, of our space together, and keep going at it. Just keep doing and feel the strength within the group.
So let's do some rapid fire, which means just whatever comes up first. Don't judge it, just honor it. I want you for a moment, you close your eyes or just go with it for a second, however you like to do that. And I want you to think about what is your, like, when you have shined in here, you're killing it, and you know it, and you feel it, like, what is that? What is it about you that you know conclusively? So be confident, guys, in your reflection here. What is it about you that you know is working for the students that go before you, that come week after week? What is that thing? You know, see if you can label it, so that we can really kind of bring our best practices to the table here. If you want, I can go first. I mean, I think one of the things I'm good at that people appreciate is like believing in them, empowerment, and really kind of like not letting people feel like they can't do it, that they're not worthy, that they're like, I feel like that's part of my talent, is just to make sure you feel like you can believe in yourself, whatever it is that you want to do. Some things take time, but that doesn't mean you can't do it. So I think that's one of my gifts as a teacher, is like empowering people, making sure they feel like they can, even if it takes a while.
Words, that's why I do a word of the day. It's always been a thing. I've always had an attachment to word. I was a journalist as a kid. That's my degree, journalism. So words have always been a thing, but it's because of this one thing that has always resonated with me. A person will never forget how you made them feel. So, you know, whenever you're around me, I hope that whatever feeling I know, even if it's not, you know, my top tier feeling, I still hope that you feel good when you're around me. And that's what the words help me to do, help me to emit good feelings, regardless of if it's heavy words or light words. I have a way of making light words.
Thank you.
Me? Okay. I guess in my next, I think people come to my class because I'm lighthearted and funny and goofy, mostly, probably more than funny.
Today you are extra funny.
Really? Look, I didn't get to be laugh. That's funny.
It was fun, it was fun.
It was okay. But I think that people do like that I make, even though the practice is very challenging, I make it fun because I'm just a silly, goofy, I've always been like that too. Very like a kid at heart type of thing. So I think that's why people like me because I'm lighthearted. Or like my comments.
I feel like they're bringing a lot of peace,
Mm-hmm.
healing, and teaching them to experience like stepping out of their human vessel and experiencing their true energy. You know, so that's what I feel like I bring to the table.
There was a woman, where was I? I don't know where I was, but somebody, you know, people recognize me. I don't always know who they are, but I pretend like I know. And this one really beautiful Black woman came up to me to say, hey, I want to thank you for the space and blah, blah, blah. And I'm looking at her, I really don't recognize her. But she was like, I think she could tell. And so she's like, I take Josiah's class on Monday and Friday. And I really appreciate the space, Ajax, you know. So, you know, again, I get feedback all kinds of different ways about your guys' classes, about how they're feeling about them. She's never taken one of my classes, you know, it's your classes that she was, you know, thankful for and just coming to tell me. So thank you. Yeah. No. I mean, you know, across the room, like, it's not like we were just sitting next to each other, like, okay, well, I just talk to this person. No, she spotted me, she crossed the room and tried to tell me those things, you know? So, good job.
And then there was 30.
Okay, creative space, like improv, which is what I like to do anyways, but for example, in a class, I was playing some James Brown and I was thinking about the sequence and, you know, and then one of the students was singing along and then, you know, how that classic phrase, he says, take it to the bridge. And then she starts singing along and I was calling bridge and I was like, do what he said. And then everyone just like started laughing and went up.
Nice.
Yeah, and it was just like playing off of what a student was responding to.
Yeah.
She noticed it and then I picked up on it and then I played off of that. So then it was like, we're all doing this great thing together, so. And the other thing is that, I feel like my voice is pretty nice. I've heard from people that you're laughing. But because, yeah, I know, because I have had, but I make them work hard with like a pleasant voice. Like, 50 abdominal twist. I'm like, okay, let's
Early.
and go 1, 2, 3, like.
Yeah.
And so I feel like I trick them into like doing the work in a way that's like, that's with a nice voice, and so they kind of end up doing it, and they're like, oh wow, I just did all this.
Yeah.
That is nice.
I've heard that
sponsor, so they'll be like, be like, in command, on command.
Yeah.
There's
There's a lot of people, but there's both, because
There's both.
that's why I was so committed to your class, how you're telling like that, like, yay. Wait, oh, that was a lot of crunches.
Yoga bicycle.
We got 5 more fives.
Yeah. It's a little trick.
Sierra also.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah, tone right there tricks you into doing some work.
Right.
Yeah. Good. I love that. I love that example. And when you're in it, when you're that present and you're in tune with the music and you're like magic happens. And those are very magical classes, you know, so glad you're having those experiences and that you're creating those experiences.
Oh, one more thing. I always hear that they feel like they're coming to church when they come to my class. What's the judge's name?
Oh, it's Simone.
Yeah, she's one of them.
Yeah.
So I'm coming to church. With
Yeah.
your son.
And that's the thing is, I mean, she's out there making judgments on you know, rapists and murders and, you know,
Yeah.
like I mean, I cannot imagine her plate and her day. So like, and she's not the only one, I mean, everybody up here, you know, you got Expecting Mothers, CEO, running an incredible nonprofit in the city, nationally recognized. Samantha Francois from here is working in Boston, back and forth between here, raising a 11-year-old son. Miss Brenda Bro, you know, high-ranking well, she's not elected official, she works with a lot of elected officials, like in charge of housing throughout the city. And I can go around at each picture, and each person is like top tier, and they love it here. And this is who we're teaching. I mean, and we'll teach anyone, you know. But I mean, the people that are coming here have high levels of stress, have, you know, they're professionals at their work, and they need to have a balance of compassion and discipline. That's the half art, half science thing that is yoga, you know. So compassion is important, but so is doing the work. And it's a combination of both. Superpower, what's your superpower?
I don't know. I think my like enthusiasm maybe and my passion and to go off of what Kaylin said, people always remember how you made them feel. And I remember like in real time seeing people, like if you just smile at them, like somebody could be right next to them. Like that could be where they are mentally. And if you just smile at them and acknowledge them, you can change the course of their life. And so I impressed upon that and on everyone every time I talk to students, like you are changing lives and you can't change lives at every moment of the stage.
Yeah.
So you need to be mindful of how you represent yourself because people will remember. You know, I remember your name, but they will remember how you made you feel. And so, but also like giving them that like idea of grace. You know, like you had a lady the other day in the class, but I haven't been obviously teaching like y'all, but she said, oh my God, she was snoring. And I said, well, she's like, is it okay? And I'm like, it's okay. Like, give yourself grace. Like, I didn't do it right. Like, that's the thing. I don't think I was doing it right. Oh, no, you are doing it right. Like, there is no doing it right. Like, give yourself grace. Like, obviously, you needed the rest, right? Like,
Right.
so, but just, yeah, like, I think that, yeah, give that, like, passion.
I love that.
Yes, I took that thing, but it was great. Right?
Yeah, same
I was sad I missed that.
Awesome.
Yeah, I took it too. Beautiful.
Good.
I'm gonna have my out of body experience. Okay.
A lot of people have had that. Like, it's been a common thing.
Yeah, well, that guided meditation is a little bit different than yoga, but yeah, it's keep doing it and don't cancel.
I'm the cancel this time.
No, I said don't. Look, teachers be up and out sometimes, so you just stay, you stay put, okay?
The right teachers stay, the wrong teachers leave, so it's all good.
Yeah.
JJ, superpower.
Mine was compassion.
Okay.
I was gonna say that to you, and then kind of what you were saying too. I think we're both in a similar, like in a way, teaching a similar specific group right now. I think we all are, but there's a level of like compassion and patience I think that I bring that goes really well with my class. Because it's not just diabetes and hypertension, it's just like really any kind of distance from yoga or wellness. And I have one consistent student, who Miss Gale is just really stubborn about not fully being invested in her wellness. And I'm saying her name right now just because I've been encouraging her to come with me to one of y'all's classes. And so I'll introduce you if that day comes. When that day comes, it will be soon. But like you're saying, like I've been trying to be really patient, not try to go too fast. But I'm also learning there is more encouragement, but discipline to bring to this role. But yeah, I'm like really good, sometimes too good at just like, oh, I hear you, whatever you need, I can support you, but I'm here for you, whatever you need. And sometimes it needs to be, I know what you need, that needs to be XYZ. But I think I've gotten her a little bit. I've been texting her a lot of videos.
Good,
She likes you too.
good.
How old is she?
She's maybe, I haven't asked her age, but I would say like mid-60s.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, and she really, I think she's ready to take one of y'all's classes. But I'm happy to go with her because it can be, there's a barrier sometimes just with even visualizing yourself in the space. So.
Yeah. Thank you. Couple housekeeping things I want to go over before we talk about our party. I need you guys to really be vigilant about shoes and socks. There's been a few times where people walk right into that studio with socks and shoes on. There was one time, I think it was Ciara's class, no shade Ciara, but like this woman had her flip-flops right next to her mat. I was like, what? So, just watch people because they don't know they're doing it wrong. They don't know. They do not know. And you just say it in a nice way, but you need to say it. We have signs up, kick off your shoes and relax your feet, but they don't read it. Or they don't know that you don't want them in there. So as you bring them in and you ask, have you done hot yoga? Do you have any injuries going on? The only goal is to stay in the room. Like, take off your shoes. Add that to the top of your list because they don't necessarily know. People are coming in. We don't know. They're coming in distracted. They're coming in fighting traffic, coming in fighting with the ex-wife, etc. So they're just not cognizant. But that's a big one for me. Please, please, please. I talked to Gina, by the way, straighten that out. Yeah.
Also, to
Yeah.
a solid point about the shoe removal.
Yeah.
Tell them to think about all of the things that are on the
Yes.
stove.
Yeah.
Seriously, if you were to Google, like, if y'all need a Pinterest picture, I will send it to y'all,
No,
like, it's
please
so
don't.
many. Like, I don't know, it's so many metals and chemicals and, think about when you walk outside. Outside.
No, yeah. And it's true.
You can take your shoes off in Asia and like all these other countries. I just don't get it.
And guess what? They've done some studies on households and sickness. And of course, households that take their shoes off get less sick.
That explains, okay, I can get shoe rack at my door.
So say that,
Because they think they can just get an antibiotic.
So, focus on what you want when you're asking people, when you're talking to people, focus on what you want versus what you don't want. It's a practice, it's a skill. I'm not always good at it, but I do believe in it. It's called positive reinforcement, focus on what you want versus what you don't want. Please don't talk about the heat, you guys. It's a lose-lose situation. Nobody's ever gonna be happy. Some people want it hotter, some people want it cooler. I know the weather's changing. I know that sometimes it's a point of conversation, but just don't talk about the heat. Okay? It's hot yoga. We all know this, and it's New Orleans. We all know this. We don't have to state the obvious. It's just not in your favor. The power of suggestion is real. So just catch yourself. Never mind. Find something else to say. Okay, because it's just you're not gonna win. And I've seen it. I've seen when you guys have, very innocently, very naively, very just casually mention a key, and I look around and I see the faces, and I'm like, you don't want to go there. You put yourself in a corner, you cannot get out. So just don't just get it in your memory bank. Like, we're not talking about the heat.
Wait, can I
Yes.
ask? So for instance, because I'm notoriously the hottest class period is noon, it's lunch.
Yeah.
So I would come in and say, I've made a few jokes and I probably stole it from you actually. I was like, look, I came to the conclusion that hot yoga is hot, okay? So at the end of the day, learn how to embrace this heat. So do you mean don't mention it in that way or don't literally say, hey, it's 105? Like, what do you mean?
That's different.
Okay, fair.
That's giving them strategy. That's giving them a way through it.
Yeah.
I'm saying like, oh yeah, I know it's really hot right now, or oh, I know the weather is really hot, but or the weather's changing, but here, no. Just like don't go there. Just don't go there because it's just you're not gonna win that comment. It doesn't serve anybody. It's not serving you. And it's definitely not serving them. What you said is a little more entailed. It has purpose behind it. You're trying to help them. And they do need that sometimes. They do need to figure out how to deal with the heat. Sometimes you just gotta acknowledge it. It is hot.
Yes.
That's a method. Sometimes what you said, like, yeah, it's hot. And just take breaks. You know, I've been taking a lot of breaks lately because I've needed to, and I'm doing it to kind of model also. Like, look, Ajax takes breaks. Yeah, you can take them too. Take a break. It's okay, you know. So, I mean, the heat is important, but it's not the only thing going on. Yeah. Same thing. Watch your suggestions for water. Again, just tightening up your teaching, you know. Stay away from words like fight and negative, and you know, we can discuss alternative ways of kind of getting that point across, but just be careful. It's kind of like having music talking about guns and murder and stuff like that. It's like, yeah, it might be serving a purpose to tell the story of the song, but is it appropriate for this moment? And I would say, you know, I think there's enough fighting and enough violence out there that we don't need to bring that word in there, even though I think some of you are using it to make a point, but see if you can find another way to make that same point. Be mindful about talking about yourself. You kind of mentioned that, Caitlin, you know, just be mindful, guys, because, you know, the way I was trained, again, this is me asking you to believe me, like, it's really about them. If you bring yourself into it, you got to immediately make it relevant to them as quickly as you can, or don't mention yourself because it's, you know, it really is about them. They may not even really like you. They just may be coming to your classes if it's convenient. So you're assuming a lot when you're talking about yourself, and it may conjure up for some of them like, I don't care, but she don't know, I don't know. And you don't need any of that. You know, they don't need to be feeling that way, and you don't need that kind of energy coming your way either. So the best thing is like the heat. Talk about yourself. You know, if it's a very important point, it's relevant to them, and you feel like you're making an executive decision, okay, fine. I'm gonna give you creative liberty to do that. But generally speaking, not really talking about yourself. It's just best practices. It's like a therapist, you know, you go see a therapist, they're there for you. They're not there to tell them about you, you know, maybe a therapist, and, you know, I don't know, a therapist, they may mention themselves to make a point. But other than that, phones. So as some of you may know, there's been all kinds of studies about phones. Just even having the phone out can like conjure cortisol stress. So I know some of you need the phones because of music and things like that. So just be aware of your phone and try to hide it. If you don't need it in your pants, don't hold it. Try to put it under your under a towel. Yes, if you need it to change the music or you need it for whatever reason, check the time, fine. But I want us to all, including me, because sometimes I take it in there for Music Monday and stuff, try to hide it. Try to keep it, you know, put it on mute so it's not pinging as people are calling you. I'm just picturing that because okay.
Fear.
So that's it. Well, so here's some updates. That's it as far as teaching. Neighborhood update. So I don't know if you guys have noticed, but we've had less congestion, less chaos, less loitering. There was a moment where we had very high levels of loitering, and then I went on my campaign trail and just like talked to every single person that came, and it's just like, I don't know if you know, but there's a business right here, and we kind of need this area open, and we have people who are coming, like this, think of this as like a clinic, and they're coming, they're trying to take care of themselves, and they're taught yoga, as you know, they're in little, outfits, and they're like, they don't know who you are, they're not sure, the last storm brought down our sign, they don't know where we're at all the time, and so, like, I'm basically trying not to say, like, I don't know that you're doing anything bad, that's not what I'm saying. All I'm saying is, like, keep this running free. And I also had a very vulnerable moment with a few guys at one point where I was just like, they kept saying yes, 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 and they kept doing it, and I was just like, you guys are gonna, I'm gonna lose this business, like, we're gonna have to close our doors, because, like, I can't get enough people to come in here. And I was really honest with them, and I was like, we're like literally one of the best yoga studios in this whole freaking city. But none of that really matters if people don't come in here. And so, make a long story short, I feel like things have improved. A few of them have stopped by and they're like, you see, we're not here anymore, you see, and I'm like, yes, I see it, thank you. There's a couple instances, especially early in the morning, where 1 or 2 or 3 of them are kind of hanging out. The minute they see me, they leave. I'll say good morning. I've had to kind of do my campaigning with people who I've not talked to, and it's been working. Word has spread, and I've talked to a few of them because a few of them have, big mouths, for the lack of a better word, and they've shared the news, the tidings, so to speak. So
I've heard one of them say that, the lady said she doesn't want to, we've been listening to her.
I'm not sure what happened in the last couple of weeks, but there's a new flock of guys.
yeah,
Like a whole bunch of
Yeah.
young kids.
yeah. Those are the guys that I've been talking to, and they, for the most part, are trying to stay on the outskirts, across the street, down here at the apartment, over here on the stairs, gets you back in town. I mean, they're still around, but they haven't really, they've been doing their best to keep this area clear, And so whatever you can do to, thank them, acknowledge them, they're people just like you and me. They're trying to feel better in their lives like you and me, they're just doing it in a different way. And, so, 8 years, guys, and we've tried everything from like federal busts to seizures from the DA. Everything you can name has transpired. And it hasn't worked. But eye contact, continuous conversation, thanking, acknowledgement, that seems to be working. At least this time around. So I'm grateful for it because we need it. So that's the update on that. I'm gonna have to issue you guys all new codes. Somebody came in last night or 2 nights ago at midnight. I don't know what for, I don't know what it was about, but somebody was in here and I just thought, I don't know what's going on. So I need you to think of a 4-digit code that is yours, because you're each gonna have your own. So that way it can be identifiable. Oh, okay, that was so and so. Okay, that was so and so. And I'm not saying you can't come in here at midnight if you left something or you need something or whatever.
And I think I'll text you later now.
Yeah, I do too, but I don't know what that was. But there really isn't anything to take in here. Especially after hours, so, but think of a 4-digit code that you can remember, and I'm gonna program it in the computer, in the alarm system, so that's gonna be your new phone. Okay, and we kind of had that before, and then we just kind of changed it. Okay, ready to talk about this party or what? So 8 years, working our tails off. I want to celebrate. Every year since COVID, we haven't celebrated fully since COVID. Every year it comes out. We're gonna do it this year. We're gonna do this year, and we just haven't done it. Well, this year we're doing it, and I'm really grateful. I'm really happy. Partnering with friends of ours, friends of the studio who own a new bar called Night Bloom on St. Claude. It's beautiful, kind of just one room space. I think it's perfect, so we can all kind of be intimate with each other. It's on Saturday, November 2nd, which is Dia de los Muertos. So I'm co-conspiring with a bunch of decorators and farmers so that we can decorate authentically, which is normally marigolds. So there'll be beautiful decorations in the space. It's all very beautiful on its own. It's from 5 to 9. I really want everybody there. You guys are basically kind of co-hosting with me. So what that means is that you're entertaining people, you're talking to people. You're introducing people to each other that may not know each other. Your host or hostess, that night. We get proceeds from the cocktails or mocktails that whole weekend. So we're only responsible for Saturday, but that whole weekend, they're being generous enough to give us a few dollars from each drink. So we want people to drink. We want people to show up. The kind of people that we need to go to this thing in your Rolodex are like people who like to have a good time. They don't have to be yogis. Then think about people who maybe are ready for some yoga, because we're gonna sell a membership that night. I think I'm gonna call it Magnolia 8 is great, I think. And so the idea is like, it's about a little less than 8 weeks for the end of the year. So in honor of our 8 years, it's 8 weeks of yoga for $88. So about $10 per week. So that would be probably the membership that we'll sell for anyone who's new or anyone who hasn't been here in a while. There'll be raffle tickets. There's different raffles items that we'll be selling. We're gonna also do a small silent auction. And then I'm putting together some really sexy fly swag for the nights. Posters, some of our photos, not the ones up here, but some other ones with like inspirational quotes that people can buy and put in their office or put in their spare bedroom or down the hall or whatever. We won't have a ton of them. We'll just have a few photos and a few of those to sell. And then also like actual like sweat. So that's how we're making money. And it is like, it's a benefit toast celebration, like in that order. So we need a benefit and we will have a toast and we will be celebrating, right? So I don't want us to get confused and just only be celebrating or only be toasting, because we need a benefit from this. I'm excited to see how much money we can raise. I'm excited to see who shows up. We have an MC for the night. Her name is Eleanor. Some of you may know her. She's also an actor. And I think that she's a good fit. You know, she's very positive. She's very lovely. She loves the studio. We're using the bar as kind of a stage, because there really is no stage. We're more than likely gonna have a DJ Mikey offline. He's a pretty good DJ, and he'll have a mic, so we will have amplification. We'll have decor. We'll have an MC. We have one student, Penda, who I'm not sure if you guys all know her, but she's doing a poem. And then I want one testing from one of our clients. So I want you to think about who that could be. It might be Will's little Buddha son. That's right. Because Will let me know that like he came, like he's 8 years old too. And so he grew up in the studio. And he's now teaching at the studio or co-leading. And so I just thought that's a really amazing story. So maybe that's it. I'm not sure, you know, think about like in the next couple of weeks, talk to your students, let me know if there's a story that you think is really powerful. So we can't do too many, we can only do one. So we need to kind of find a really good gem. I'll do a little bit of like a community toast, and then we're gonna end with the finale that I'm gonna need your help with, that I'm hoping you guys are gonna get really excited about, and that is a yoga demo on the bar.
Are you gonna look at me?
Because the vision is this is the vision, okay? So I talked to one of the best drummers in New Orleans, who's gonna be a percussionist that night for you guys. Think of like coming to America. And so you guys are gonna be in an outfit. You guys need to choose an outfit. By the way, the night is like floral attire, and the best floral attire outfit wins the prize. But nonetheless, you guys will be, I want us to think about something we can all wear that night that's nice, that's pretty, that's, you know, stylish, that kind of identifies as like, oh, I guess they're like a team. So it doesn't have to be the same color, or it could be a wreath of flowers, could be a pen, could be something, I don't care. Let's think about what it is, but something that kind of identifies us as like, oh, this is, like, they're the host, right? But about 15-20 minutes before this yoga demo, want you guys to change into whatever you guys decide to wear, and then go outside, and the percussionist is gonna welcome you guys kind of in. You guys will follow the percussionist, and then what I would like for you to do, because I don't think I can get you on this bar because you're just too tall. But I think what I'd like for you to do is help each of them up onto the bar.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and the bar is handmade, it's solid wood, it's very wide. And you know, we have permission to get up on it. And so I think we need a song.
So no drinking until after.
Yeah, you gotta keep it light, you're gonna have to keep it light, you're gonna have, yeah, you're gonna have to keep it a little light on the drinking.
No, I'm not.
But Ciara, you know, I'm gonna kind of lean on people who have a background in dance, burlesque, dance. Ciara has an extensive background on yoga demonstration. So doesn't have to be too long, you know, 2 minutes, 1 minute, 3 minutes. Like, it doesn't have to be a long thing, but it's going to be very like, wow. Like no one's ever done this in New Orleans. I love when we're the first. I love when we make history. But the idea is to inspire people, motivate people, and be like, wow, that's my teacher, or that could be my teacher. So yeah, so that's the plan. That's kind of the vision. I shared it with Amber already, I shared it with JJ, but now you
What
all
does the
know.
wardrobe look like?
Well,
Some like royalty,
I think you need to be like, I think you need to have like no shirt on, or like, or like a jacket with no shirt on.
maybe one more.
I think you could do a turban. I think you could be all in white. I mean, it's open. It's open to your interpretation.
I'll put it on the show, I'm sorry.
Let me show you guys like, oh, I sent you just like 2 very simple yoga outfits, but there's actually another one. I saw this really cute, like, so this is, because flowers are kind of the motif, like, I sent this to Amber, but again, these are just like ideas and nothing concrete. And then I sent her this one too. Doesn't have to be flowers, like your regular outfit could be flowers and the yoga outfit could be a solid color. The other one that I really like, let me show you. It's kind of a dress slash like, it's kind of a dress slash hoodie slash yoga situation.
Wow.
It shows the legs.
Like a ninja. Like I'm on Tekken.
There's different colors. There's different colors. And it's like, it's $30. It's not super expensive.
Cute.
And
Very cute.
I don't know. I think it's kind of sexy.
I like that color better, yeah. But we can't be doing no standing bow. Our crotch gonna be out.
No, there's pants underneath. I mean,
you saying it's short.
there's shorts underneath. Yeah.
He wants to, you can always have some.
Yeah, no, I would never have you do that. Just, I mean, okay, but first and foremost, are you guys down to do this?
I'm going to tell you, live in money. Like it's somebody.
Oh my God. Wait, have you said yes or no?
So you know, we'll be here
On the 2nd?
on the 2nd.
Oh,
you'll be in, extra, I didn't want
I'm not gonna be gone.
I thought you were leaving on like the 5th or something.
No, I'm going from October.
That sucks.
Yeah, it's a heartbreak.
Okay.
That's why I'm big.
Well-
I'm looking at all
You're going to ayahuasca, the
the.
Columbia?
I'm going to Peru.
Wow.
That's amazing.
Okay. Well, I didn't know that. I thought you were leaving later.
And I'm going October 31st through.
I thought you already did an ayahuasca retreat.
And then no, never go.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I say did 30, but I didn't know if I seen my music.
Wow.
I've been 30 episodes. Keep my girl.
Yeah.
Well, be careful. Yeah, be careful. 30 is way too much. Okay, so you guys are down. You're not here. I think, let me show you guys the bar because I think we're gonna have to figure out, spacing. And then we're gonna have to figure out a routine, So think of like your favorite posture so that we make sure we have that in there. If you guys want to practice, we can go and practice, just at least like one time. I don't think that's a problem. The owners are so excited. I can't even tell you. Let me show you a little bit like what I took a video. Where is that video? Here. Okay, so
Oh, yeah.
yeah, I
been
wouldn't
there.
have you guys.
I don't know that you can't get on there. It's the ceilings are kind of high.
It's not St. Claude.
Well,
Oh,
that's nice.
Yeah, it's pretty high.
That looks short. Well, I've never been in person, so you would know that.
It's high ceilings. I've been.
Yeah, only been one time.
Yeah, it's a nice vibe. And it's kind of darker at night. They have the neon lights.
Yeah, that's really nice.
It's on the corner of Silhouettes and St. Claude.
Or you have to do.
Silhouette.
Oh, hell yeah.
well, I mean,
You rehearsal.
It's perfect. It's like a.
Yeah.
what'd you say?
They can't make it, they can do it before.
My bad. Oh, I was.
It's right, you know where Galaxy Tacos is? A little gas station they turned into a taco joint.
Galaxy.
You know where Saturn bar is?
That's what I was
It's
thinking.
across the street. It's across the street from Saturn.
Ah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, how long's that? The whole thing's 2 minutes?
I mean, it's whatever you guys want. I don't know.
Yeah. Is it everyone's doing it at the same time or like one?
Yeah, it's like a yoga. You guys are all like, it's almost like a choreography,
Okay.
you know?
I got it.
Yeah.
I thought you had to say. I get it.
It's like a flow.
It's a little bit of a flow, Ciara is really like because she's a competitor, champion. She's
I
had
don't
to
mind.
kind of create her own 3-minute routine.
Okay.
Those were different, like those you have to hit very specific postures. With us, we can be creative, and so maybe it's like, some of the 26 and 2, a little bit of vinyasa, like, I think the song is really the most, I've been trying to find a song for you guys and I've not been successful.
I have to think about what captures.
Like if we got a video
The
of
moment.
choreography, we could
Jimmy,
learn it
no,
and
Jay.
come together.
Is there a posture that you would love to make sure that gets,
Like vinyasa posture.
or any posture that?
Well, chair is always really.
I can't believe you just said that.
It's everyone's, because everyone is accessible to everybody. That's what I was thinking. Something that's like fancy.
No, I just did not expect you to say chair, but
Well, I was thinking it crosses over for vinyasa and for.
sure.
Girl, you had me go through 22 chairs that last time. Say another third chair.
It was,
I don't know why chair hurts my lower back. I don't know. Maybe I don't have my pillows.
well, think about, is there a posture that comes to mind? Is there a posture that comes to mind for you that you would love to make sure gets done or?
I want to know about the spacing on the bar. I
Mhm.
really do.
I think we can do 2 people on each side. So 2 on that side, 2 on this side, and 2 in the front. I think there's enough for that.
Warrior 2, it seems like.
That would be very like people. would
It's
know.
iconic
That,
and
yes.
good lines.
Wait, say that again?
Warrior 2,
Oh,
good lines. What do you think? Yeah, yeah.
I think that can be just.
Yeah, so
No balancing.
No balancing. In other words,
It's hard for me to
Like
Yeah.
Wait, which one? Standing up?
Warrior,
Yeah.
Warrior two,
Yeah.
but I think Warrior two would be.
It'd be like, even if it's not, I said, there's like two different poses happening out.
Sure, sure.
Especially.
Even if it's just spacing, it will look.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm thinking
I like that.
No balances too. I'm thinking that too. No.
Oh, come on.
They got,
Gotta do a little balancing.
Safe is.
No.
I used to practicing, but this is done all the time, not yoga
If it's
anymore, but
Oh, yeah.
one-legged bends.
Yeah.
Like where,
Triangle?
yes.
Ugly coyote?
Yeah.
So you might
Oh, that's.
Yeah, a couple of these, you guys, we could do a couple of these, 3 of those, cause that's valid, and then,
Yeah, I like that.
maybe like, so this is the bar, let's say it's a rectangle, right? So, yeah, you definitely do got it. So like, if we were to do half moon, the people on the left do it to the left, the people on the right do it to the right.
I had a vision of like,
No third part back.
those swing dancers when they do things and everything goes in the air. So I had a vision of triangle, right, because the bars are U-shaped, a U-shape. And so like she was saying, from different ways, except like everybody, like, it kind of is like a wave, like, one person starts, it's kind of like the domino.
Oh, I think we saying that's. We have to be really good at timing.
The lights, the lights, the music has to be cute in a way where like you catch that beat at that time, and then also too, like the lights in there at nighttime, it's just like a neon vibe, so it's nice.
Yeah.
This is,
What if you were hitting a pose with like you said on the beat, but what if you were hitting each, not like a flow, but hitting each pose to the beat, like.
Yeah, a transition, like a wave.
Like,
Hey, Bethany, I mean, we gonna need you in this room for the next 3 weeks.
here's like, so like, this is a song that I thought was kind of interesting. I don't think you guys are gonna like it, but I'm gonna play it. Just check it out. Yeah.
wow. I didn't know it's not- You look like me, that's how. How it works.
There's more.
Okay, I'm putting that.
Just because it has a steady beat.
Yeah.
And then it has a very positive message. I thought that'll help you guys not be so nervous.
I'm creative and we're trying to get,
Sure.
we all can go. Add a little body language rhythm to it.
It's like an affirmation. No, it's this chick named Geminelli. Or Geminel. The other one that I was listening to on my bike this morning, I was really into it. But I don't think this is the one, but this is funny. It made me laugh. I was like, oh, maybe that would be.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's not as uplifting. Yeah, it's one of those things where you could do like, you can go Kendrick Lamar or you can go Maya Angelou. Like, I don't know. I mean, I thought about it. I don't have a problem with it. It is fun.
Oh, my goodness.
Well, that.
That sounds good. That sounds strong. Took a little while to kick in.
Yeah, they all took it in and I took it down.
It's just. It's obviously it's like. Dress the house.
So you went right straight from playful energy to straight to serious. So it's more like serious.
Yeah.
So
Well, it's called Warrior Healer. We can also do a mix. We could also like start one way and end with Kendrick. I don't know. Let's listen to Kendrick really.
No, we started off with, what's that one song? This Is America. And then we went to that song, yeah, Progress.
I'm sure there's a piano.
I tried to go trick me, I'm paying plain version on Spotify.
There's also. I love that song. Well, this is go between the two. Yeah, think about a song, send it to me or, we can send it on the chat or something so that we can. It would be great to agree on the song. I want all of you guys to feel good about it, I'm not opposed to Kendrick, like.
I'm not a fan either.
No, I said I'm not opposed to it.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But you're opposed to it?
Have you ever tried to be a fan? I just didn't.
his voice really irritates.
Okay.
Yeah.
that's right.
No, I agree. I'm not really a big fan of his voice. either. I mean, I really like him. I'm not like in love with his voice.
Have that piercing little annoying, like.
What's another song, guys? What's another, like, even if it's not like of this year, but it's just like a good classic. I mean, of course I thought about Back That Ass Up, but I don't think so. I mean, I did. It's New Orleans, I also thought about was it Mystical? Like, I did think of a couple of like.
Think about it. Let's sleep on it. Mystical, is that what you said, Mystical?
Yeah, here I go.
I don't know.
I mean, I love it.
No, I
Like that one?
I speak that one.
But also too, I'm not.
I think we should do.
I mean, it's really long and talking.
Yeah.
I need to ask everybody to look into some brands for the raffle, right? Cause
Yeah, I think I have enough.
Oh,
I love the ones. Yeah, I love the candle people. But I'll just say it, like, if there's any brand or store or anything local that you think would be a cool raffle item. Like right now, I'm asking Tacos de Cartel because I love them and they love me. And so hopefully they'll give us a nice gift certificate for dinner. I'm also asking to Carnola because we're also friends and that's a very like incredible restaurant. Did you guys just see he got like this guy? I mean, this is an amazing story. He is voted in Time magazine as one of the top 100 most like fascinating people.
wow.
Yeah. Serene.
You know, Instagram actually, yeah.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, so anyhow, I'm waiting on a response from them. I have a makeup session with Sabrina. We have a massage thing. We have a facial thing. Grand Cru, Miss Carla's Wine and Spirits. She's gonna donate like a something. Yeah.
Also, Sydney's car has.
Oh yeah, Sydney. Yeah, sure. Yeah. Yeah. If there's anybody, like, she gave me, what's the name of it? What's candle? Yeah, there's also a chocolate place that, yeah, yeah. They're good, yeah, they're around, yeah, and that could be a raffle, thing.
Yeah. They'll probably be an extension door to flag over. You know, trying to build something.
From who?
It's very sweet.
Oh, yeah, I think Amelia was, one of her friends works for us, she was also gonna try. But yeah, that's good, yeah, they can totally donate, no problem.
No, my kids are really good.
So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna send you guys a video of a yoga demo, just to get it in your head, just so you can see what it looks like. I think you already seen one, and you have too.
Done one.
You've already done one, yes.
Do it again.
And so we'll start there, and then you need to think about an outfit. You need to think about what you might want to wear. I like for it to be uniform. It doesn't have to be necessarily the same color, but maybe the same cut. Something so that it looks, you know.
Oh, that might be stand floral, but maybe I'm laughing.
It doesn't have to be floral. Like the attire for the night is floral, which could just be a flower in your head. But yeah, the yoga demo does not have to be floral. It can be solid colors.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I was talking so that way I'll just like,
That's so cute. I'll be like that. Are you real or paper mache? Okay, so we came up with a song, possibly. Yeah,
I love it because you talked about the spine at some point, and I'm just like, I think so.
Word.
Well. So, okay, so we need to get an outfit, guys, because time's gonna creep. And yeah, we have 24 days. And then, please RSVP, please send the invite, get people to register. All they need is to show up, you know, if there's any like, any influencers, any people that you know that you've been talking about Magnolia Street, some of your mentors, like invite them. This is the perfect opportunity for them to come and see what we do. Like everybody in my camp, like my network, I'm like, bring your boss, bring the sheriff, bring me this, bring me that. Like we want people of influence in there as well, because we get a lot of, we get more work that way. People start to see wellness. Oh, I'm maybe we can do that. So yeah. Yeah, I'm thinking about food. I think that I was at Galaxy Tacos yesterday, and I need to like, they have a catering. So I thought, no, what if we just did like one veggie taco, one meat taco, 200 tacos, that's it, you know. That's it, you know, like, first come, first serve, you get one, you get two, that's it, you know.
To get something.
The other thing is the owners have like pop-up people that they've used over the past, so we can also like just have them kind of come over. I mean, the taco place is right across the street. But so it would be an easy catering gig, but you know, the pop-up would be like out of their own money. The catering would be something I would pay for. So there's pros and cons there, but yeah, you know, it would, because the more people eat, the more they want to drink. And the more they drink, the more, you know, the more money we essentially make. So so it's on the website, the RSVP for the invite for the party. It's on on our bio, and you know, you should, all of you teach at least twice a week, once a week, mention it in your class, at least once a week. Have people RSVP, that way they'll get a reminder, and we also get their information, and you know, I mean, most people who are here, we already have information, but make a list of the people that you want to invite, you know, you're gonna be showcased. Thanks for being open to doing it, because I didn't know if you guys were gonna say yes or no. I want to get up there with you guys because I want to make sure people know I can still do it, but I don't think I'm gonna do it because I think I have too much life from it. So then I thought, well, maybe I could do one posture with them.
Yeah.
Just hop up.
At the end,
Posture.
at the end.
Yeah.
We can see how it's, I feel like we should try.
I'm open to it. I'm open to it. But
Make them ask for it.
the bag.
Make them beg. That is.
Yeah, I'm so excited. I have a lot of good friends coming from out of town. But yeah, invite your people, invite your friends, family. Thanks for listening, guys. Thanks for sharing. Let's get together soon, some TikToks. Massages, by the way, that was another update. They're kind of paused for at least another few days. Just trying to get that room cold. But like, once we have massage back up, you're probably gonna hear from me again on how to like facilitate those. Having a class and having a massage at the same time. I don't expect it to happen often, but I do think it might happen a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, so stay tuned for that and thank you.
Thanks for your.
You wanna just put in the women's basket, there's a women's laundry, a women's, yeah, just leave it in the women's,
Wait, yeah, well, you are. Yeah, no, no.
Oh,
And thank you.
You're welcome, Sarah. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, if you're good at researching stuff, if there's any outfits that you see that you think might be,
Okay.